Hello and welcome back to the shop. So this is just a quick preview of an upcoming project that I'm going to be working on, and that is going to be refurbishing this Gerstner toolbox. Now I'd already done another one. I have an 11 drawer that's actually behind the camera. I'll show you that after. And I've done a series of videos on that of replacing the felt and basically just generally cleaning it up. And I replaced the carry handle on it because, like all of them, it was pretty much disintegrated. Now that one was actually in pretty good shape. The actual finish of that, like the gloss coat, I would say is probably about 90% intact. So all I really had to do with that is clean off the years of dirt and grime, and that thing shined. I didn't have to do anything else. This one's a little worse for wear because this looks like it was a daily use toolbox, and it has a hell of a story to it, judging by the front of this here, and we'll kind of go over all of this. And let me just take you a quick peek of the 11 drawer, and then we'll come back to this one here and show you what we're going to have to do with this and kind of get you guys' opinion on how we're going to go about this. So this is my 11 drawer here, and as I said, it's in really good shape. The only parts of the finish that are worn are right up here where you would normally grab it, and right on the bottom where this would always stick out. But everything, including the front plate, is pretty much finish-wise 90% intact. So this, as far as a refurb goes, was mainly just replacing the felt. I didn't even take off the fittings. I just gave them an in-place kind of little cleaning and clean all the nasties off of it, and this thing shined. The one I'm going to show you now is it's a little bit different. We might have to go a little bit further, and we'll see what we have to do. Okay, so this here is your typical 7-drawer Gerstner. Ignore the missing one here. I have it. I was just playing with it. It's behind the camera. Now, I did get this local. I bought it from a woman who had bought this from the estate of the original owner, and her idea was to turn it into a jewelry box. I don't know how much jewelry got, man, but there's a lot of jewelry would fit in this. That's all I'm saying. So what she had done is she had removed all of the felt off of this. You can see it's all missing, and had started to replace it with, that is wallpaper. And this is like a dark blue felt, which is just kind of, I don't know if that's glued on with possibly Elmer's glue or something like that, but obviously that's not going to work for what we want to do. I already ordered all the felt from Gerstner. I also ordered a new handle for this, and I'm going to try the hide glue. I ordered it directly from Gerstner also, and I ordered a key for it because it was missing the key. So now, as you can see by all of these tags, this kind of has an interesting story to it. So this has the owner's name pretty much everywhere. There are 3 tags with 3 different addresses and his name on it, and it's actually written on the back of one of these here. So I got on the internet and did a little bit of Googling, and I found him. I found his obituary. So he died in 2016 or 2017. He was 91 years old. He was in the military. He was in the Navy during World War II. He was a top turret gunner of a Navy reconnaissance and rescue seaplane. So, I'm not too familiar with World War II aircraft and specifics, really, just, the general like everybody else. But the first thing that popped into my head was the PBY Catalina. And it's not that, because that does not have a top turret, so I did a little bit more digging, and the only other seaplanes I could find were the Mariner and the Coronado, which had top turrets. So it could possibly be on one of those that he was. It could be possibly something else. But so obviously his name's here. This is Roar Aircraft Corporation. This is Emerson Electric Manufacturing Company, Electronics and Avionics Division. This says the Emerson Electric Manufacturing Company, Armament Division. This is McDonnell Aircraft Corporation. This is Tooling Department, J10, which I don't know what it is, J10 and Fixtures, which I have no idea what that is, and Loftsman. Now, Loftsman were basically the guys that did the giant layout. They laid out the full-scale plans of the wings of aircraft or the keels of boats and things like that. It says Jomico Tool and Engineering Company, Starline Products Incorporated, Western Supply Tool and Die, and down here is Sherwood Medical which was a medical manufacturer. I think that was the last place he worked. He was a tool and die maker, as far as I could tell and what the obituary said. So obviously he put pretty much where he worked on there, and those are all staying. But here's the coolest thing I think of this box. So that right there. So I got you zoomed in here. So the Cheyenne was a AH-56. It was an experimental attack helicopter. So they were around this time, this was the 60s. They had just adopted the AH-1 Cobra as an interim attack helicopter. It wasn't supposed to be a permanent fixture. They were supposed to get something better, which surprisingly the Marines are still using a version of that aircraft to this day. But they were looking for a long-term replacement, and the AH-56 was one of the helicopters that was in contention. Obviously, it lost out to the Apache, as we know it, the AH-64. So the XM-51, 52, and 53 is actually the gun turret on the nose of the aircraft. I can't remember which one is which, but one is the Gatling gun, one is a cannon, and one is a rocket launcher. Or not a rocket launcher, a grenade launcher, rather. And just for a quick little picture of the actual aircraft, it's a little bit different. You know, it looks like a helicopter. Here is the turret in the front, and in the back, that actual is not a rear rotor for the aircraft. That is actually a pusher propeller. It is facing rearwards and pushes the aircraft forward. I will actually throw up a couple of pictures in the video. You can see what I'm talking about. So obviously that was not a success, but he worked on that project. Okay, a couple of strange things that we have with this box is we have leather fronts on the drawers, which was not, I haven't seen, he had to have put those on there. I've never seen one with that. So I removed one. Let me grab it. So I removed one and peeled it off just to see what was underneath it, and that is finished wood, so that was definitely just stuck on, and it's glued on with contact cement. So we're gonna have to get that off somehow. Also, what we have here, for whatever reason, under every one of these drawers here is some sort of, it looks like a fiberglass mat, and it's epoxy to it. I'm assuming to stiffen up the galvanized metal that was there. I'm not sure of the purpose of that, but it's under every single one. It's not really hurting anything, so it's not a huge issue. So my plan is to remove everything here. Obviously, all these are going back on. I want to leave them there, but I'm going to save them. I want to take them off and then clean this and then put it back on. But as far as cleaning goes, the finish of this is really, really rough. So I may end up having to refinish this. I'll kind of show you from the top. I kind of want to get you guys' opinion on there. I mean, I don't need this thing to look brand new, but the way it is, it irks me a little bit. So let's take a closer look at the top. Okay, so I did a test spot here. So I cleaned this up here, and you can see the spot that I cleaned. And what I found was the actual varnish on this is very, very flaky. Like I can scrape it off with my finger. There is zero protection of any of that anymore, and a lot of it is lost on the top. You know, I'm not particularly worried about normal wear and tear, but this whole top is almost bare of any varnish, at least around here, around the high wear areas. I tried cleaning this a little bit, and not much came out of it. I think the more I clean this, the more I'm going to get more of this flaking, and it's going to irk the crap out of me. So I may have to end up refinishing this box. I'm not sure. I mean, we'll have to clean it up and see what survives finish-wise. I'm going to clean it the same way that I cleaned my other one with using some Murphy's oil soap. We'll go through that during the videos. And also to do that, all of these tags will come off. I'll mark where they are. I'll make a quick little diagram, just measure from here to the edge, see how far they are, and obviously these are pinned in place, probably with drive screws. But I'll mark these ones here, and they're all going to go back to the same spot. Maybe not the Dave, but haven't decided on that yet. The one thing that I do have to be really careful of is this sticker here. I cleaned this up already with just some soap and water so you guys can read it. But I need to mask that off, make sure that nothing gets on that and nothing lifts that. I don't think that'll be such an issue. You know, I'm just kind of torn as to how deep into this box, into the finish I want to go. You can see the difference here. This is just cleaned with a piece of steel wool, and this is what's on there. So you can see the difference there. There's definitely some dirt and grime and grunge. I know people are like, that's patina. There's a difference between patina and rust and just grunge. There's a big difference. This is patina. This is dirt. All right. So same thing with this. This is not patina. This was aluminum at some point. That is dirt, is what that is. So once I clean it, we'll have to see what's left of it and then kind of go from there. I really want to do right by this box. I really love these tags of where you work, especially the metal ones. And you know, there are a lot of pretty cool places in here. I mean, you got McDonald Aircraft and everything else like that. That's pretty cool. And obviously this sticker, there's probably not many of those around anymore. I highly doubt it. So that is the project, and we're going to be going through this little by little and see what we come up with.